early enrollees that have hit campus and will be taking part in spring football. In addition to that, here in the next week or two, we're going to see the guys that are moving on that have already made their mark. And I don't know what else they can do to these guys in terms of making them jump and run and bench press and do all this other stuff that they didn't do in Indianapolis to prove themselves. But still, we know what the deal is, that the NFL scouts can't get enough measurements in and contact with these athletes to try to size them up because their jobs are on the line and trying to build teams. And so Georgia is going to have one of its biggest pro days in memory with all the talent on hand that's moving on to the NFL draft.
Georgia had 10 go into the NFL combine, but they have potentially 13 that could get drafted. And I think that's just does wonders for recruiting. It does wonders for the program, and it just puts Georgia back on the map as they were in like the early 2000s, when I felt like Georgia always had kids going in the first and the second round. I believe it's like the eighth time in school history that Georgia potentially has two people going in the first round, with Isaiah Wynn and Roquan Smith. The last time I looked, it looked like Roquan was projected to go to the Cowboys. This was a CBS mock draft that I looked at, and then Wynn projected to go to the Bengals, which is surprising me. You're leaving out two of the best running backs in the entire country out of the first round. That to me is just like kind of interesting. I know you got Saquon and all them, but Nick Chubb and Sony Michel bring something extra special to a team. They bring so much humility and so much humbleness that they're going to be a team player. And that's surprising that not more NFL teams want somebody like that, because they can do the reps, they can make plays happen, but at the same time they're going to be there and do what's best for the team. Sony's projected to go to the Miami Dolphins in the second round, and then which is before Nick. I think Sony was like one of the first in the second round projected, and then you have Nick Chubb projected to go to the New York Jets later on in that round. But you also got to think Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter had a tremendous NFL combine, running a 4.46 unofficially, but then getting it moved up to a 4.51. He ran faster than our two running backs. I mean, that's scary. It was funny because he did an interview with one of the beat reporters for Georgia, and he was just like, watch, tomorrow I'm going to run faster than Nick and Sony. Just wait. Roquan said the same thing, but he ended up pulling a calf muscle, or like tweaking a calf muscle. I don't want to say pulling. That's not official. Not saying that he did. I just heard he tweaked something, so he ended up not doing any of the other events, but he will be doing, I think, all of them at Pro Day. But, I mean, Trent Thompson, too, Davin Bellamy, the D-back, Dominic Sanders. I'm probably missing 4 or 5.
I think you just answered, Savannah, the reason why neither one of those backs is going to be drafted in the first round.
Because
you've got a linebacker who's outrunning the two running backs.
Well, I mean, a running back is running a 4.52 and then a 4.5. I think it was a 4.54. So I mean, they're still pretty quick. I mean, Saquon is a freak athlete. I mean, running a 4.4, and then the kid from North Carolina State running a 4. I think it was it a 4.3 or 4.4?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, those are guys that are used to getting so many. They're not used to sharing the ball. And so, I mean, you have Sony and Nick. I don't know. I think Sony and Nick could be late first rounders if teams need them. But it looks like that teams are going to take Saquon and the other guy before them, just because I don't think that the running back is necessarily a necessity this year as it has been in years past. So, I'd be happy wherever they go as long as they get drafted and they get playing time and they're successful. Nick Chubb actually made his first big purchase this week, getting a McLaren. I think that's what it's called. He posted his picture. I guess it was with his agent with his super nice. It looked like a Ferrari, but it was a McLaren. And I was just like, wow. I mean, he's from Chubbtown, Georgia, big farming town, and he buys a car like that. That's his first purchase. So I thought that was interesting because he's such a quiet guy. I never thought of him as like a big time sports car guy.
So I don't really keep track of those type of storylines when it comes to athletes, but I'm trying to devise a situation in which Nick Chubb or anyone else who's preparing for the NFL draft has already earned a paycheck to be able to make the purchase. That's what I'm trying to put together here.
Yeah, that makes a good point. Like, I'm not sure if maybe he's already signed a contract with a sponsorship or something, but not that would even pay.
I would hope that's it.
or what, but I don't think. Well, he's already graduated, and so he's not associated with Georgia. So I'm not saying that either. But it was interesting. I didn't even think about it. I was just, maybe he's already made a deal with a team. I don't know. I don't know. But I just thought it was interesting that he got. That's the first thing that he did. And then again, the caption of the photo didn't even say that he purchased the car. So he may just be standing next to it. So we could be circling rumors and not even really having any storylines either.
Yeah, I'm staying out of that one.
Mm-hmm.